I think I need a GPS to get out of the hospital. So today I'm attempting to take the shuttle to go visit the kids and go take them on an adventure. So let's go do that. It's really kind of funny. I am glad I can laugh at myself because I like to get lost. I went to the wrong bridge. I went to the bridge that goes to the garage, not the bridge that goes to Brigham and Women's Hospital, and I need to get on there in order to go to the shuttle.
Okay, you said you did. I was like...
So I made it out of the hospital that day, but then I stood there for the shuttle for an hour. So I think that they do not run the shuttle on weekends, or I don't know. I stood there from like 10 minutes to 9 until I got my husband to come pick me up. It was like 10 after 10. So once we got on the, where'd we go? Once my husband picked me up, then I went back to the house and I pumped, and then we were on our adventure. So we got everyone on the ferry. So this time I have the 3 younger girls, and then I have my 14-year-old and my 10-year-old. So we went on this adventure, which was super exciting. We went on the ferry, and then we decided that we would go and do part of the Freedom Trail first, and then do the aquarium. And here we go on the Freedom Trail. It really was actually kind of amazing to be able to go even on part of this, because I've always thought of it or seen it and was like, oh, I want to do that one day. So basically there's these little things in front of, like emblems in front of each of the stops themselves. And then as you can see, there's a literal trail with the way that the bricks are just a little bit different. And throughout it has a trail, like at crosswalks and stuff. It is painted red, so it's a trail to be able to go from point A to point B. We did not do the whole trail in one sitting, so we just did a portion, which you'll see today. So this is Paul Revere's house. I know it's not something like super spectacular, but it is very interesting. So you get tickets for it, very affordable. I think adults were $6 and children were $1 a piece. They also have like a little notebook that you can get for like $1.50 that just has like questions to go over the things in the house. The people inside are absolutely wonderful. So the people inside were absolutely wonderful. They were so knowledgeable with what their job was. So downstairs, you weren't allowed to take pictures or film within the house, but downstairs when you walk into the kitchen, which is like the hearth, and had lots of like tools and supplies they used back then in order to do their cooking. And so that was nice to be able to see that. And then there was just one other room, and the woman in there was an absolute delight. She answered any questions, she told anything. She saw that we were like engaged and really wanted to know more, and told us all about it, and how she talked about the former owner of where Paul Revere's house, and how he actually had built the house and he was fairly well off, and he had servants at that time, and they lived in the basement, and just different things like that. And then how Paul Revere had actually 16 children. Now some of those children, they didn't all live together at one time inside of the house, because some died in infancy or young childhood. So he had 8 children with his first wife, Sarah, and then he remarried and had another 8 children with his second wife. And so there was obviously lots of children. If you in that book that you can get for the children, it actually lists out like birth dates and deaths for each of the children, which is really quite interesting. So if you're interested, it's definitely worth the $1.50. I kind of wish that I had gotten one for each child, but sometimes, you know, you get those and you don't really know. It could be just, I don't know, I don't want to say junk, but, you know, not very educational. So I ended up getting one, thinking that I could just make copies or whatever, like if I wanted to, like for my own personal use for my children. So we ended up just getting that, and then I am printing some things off. We're also reading some other stories. If you remember, we read that story, Who Was Paul Revere, and I read it out loud to Azariah, And now my children are reading that. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So then to actually like be there in the house, I mean, that's old. Like, and so I guess they, original part of the house was, or the house is mainly the original pieces. I think they said 90% of the main structure was the original, and then like 70% of the other types of structure, things like walls and doors and that type of stuff, was the original structure, which is incredible. I mean, you're talking about the 1700s, guys. So we got to see all of that, and they were just so very knowledgeable. You could see the like hand hewn logs. They explained the difference in like the floorboards, because there's like 3 floorboards in the back that were redone, and you can see the difference of the front boards and the back door boards, and they explained that. There was like a there was, let's see, a chair upstairs that was actually was Paul Revere's. So they had that. They had a couple things that were from Paul Revere himself. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And just to imagine, it was not a very big house, and it was a big family. And it was kind of interesting to hear other people talking about the house, honestly. So, and just how they didn't think that that many people could fit in a house that size. Basically, it's 2 rooms down, 2 rooms up. I think some of it is used for, there probably was a little bit more space, but that was used for like storage type purposes for the museum, but not too much more. Definitely not too much more. Anyhow, it is very interesting. Ready? I think a big lesson in this too is just fighting for what you believe in, whether that's like biblically or ethically, whatever you're thinking. But yeah, it was interesting. So you all know that I enjoy books, and so what I do, as many of you already know, is I take pictures of the books that are there. Now, I did end up buying 2 books from this place. This is actually across from the actual Paul Revere house, but they had some stuff in there. But I also take pictures, so when I'm at a library, then I can look for the books that they might have and be selling there, and we could read those from the library or from Thrift Books, one of my favorite places. And I ended up going home and buying 5 books that are going to be delivered from Thrift Books, because they had such great prices, and they weren't just here, they were all over. If you guys have not read about the molasses tank either, there is a book called I Survive, and there is information about it in there. The kids really enjoyed that. We might go visit to that site. I don't know. We might do that pretty soon. And so this is actually silver that Paul Revere had done, because if you guys don't know, he was a silversmith, and he also did the bell for many of the surrounding churches, and you'll see one of his bells in just a minute. This was kind of cool. This was in the bathroom, but the wall was really interesting. It's our basement actually has a wall like this too. It's the way that they were created beforehand, and I just think it's so neat. It's like history right there. And then over here is just inside of that other building. I guess it's like the museum part or something like that. It's across. There's bathrooms in there, which was lovely. But there was also just a lot of memorabilia, I guess you'd call it. Just stuff about Paul Revere. And that's where the bookstore was. So this is one of the bells that Paul Revere actually did. So yeah, kind of cool. And then they thought it was interesting that the house was attached to another house. And because we don't see that where we come from, everything's like individual houses. So they thought that was really cool. Go on the line. See the line right there?
Oh.
Yeah. Walk on the line.
Oh.
Keep walking.
Walk on.
So from Paul Revere's house, she didn't see the line at first. I was like, no, like the bricks are a line, not a literal line on the floor. I think she was looking for like somebody like make a line like with a marker or something. So we went from there and we went over to the North Church, and the Paul Revere statue is here before you get to North Church, coming from like I guess the south, heading north towards North Church. And so this is kind of like a park here, and then we're going right in front of us is North Church. There's also little side things you can go and see if you wanted to like make more of a day of it. There's lots of like historical things all over the place. We were just trying to do a couple things and only had limited time, so that's what we were doing. So here is the church itself. We chose not to go inside of that. What'd you find? The turtle?
It's a big shark line.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, a shark. Oh, a shark. A cat shark. Catfish. Oh, this stingray. I see it. Wait, I saw it first.
Do you see the turtle, Beatrice? See this? It looks like a big rock. That's the turtle.
I get why the
Do you see his face?
Do you see right
I
there?
get why turtles have hard
Big
shells
rock.
and stuff. Oh, here it comes. Look at there.
There's a turtle.
It said there's two turtles, so this is another turtle. This is another turtle.
Turtle.
I know.
You can't touch the turtle. Sorry.
Do you like the turtle?
Oh, guys. You can't touch the turtle. The turtle stays in the water.
So the last time when the three little girls had gone to the aquarium, they wanted to see a turtle so bad, and we got barely a glimpse of the turtle. And then today we got the overall view from above of the turtles. I didn't realize once you get to the top of the loop at New England Aquarium, you can actually walk up the steps and then you can look down into that circular type tank at the top. So that is where we are here. We didn't realize that we could do that when we first did it. Both of them are up top. Two over there and one over there.
Oh, it's getting water.
Is it saying hi to you?
Say hi, Mommy.
Say hi to it because it's waving at you.
Say hi, Papa.
I see. I say hi.
Did you know that this is school?
School?
Yeah.
No.
Touching these animals in the center of their backs. So right in this green circle, if you can see the board that I'm holding. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. We have educators on either side of the room.
It did this. That one was a boat. I touched it. I touched it. Oh,
Everyone's back home, and thanks for watching and joining us on our journey today.